Chavez.
Little tired. I was up late last night, but it was all well worth it.
So was I. Mine was not. I would say that mine is almost as productive as yours. I got a lot done yesterday.
Yeah?
Yeah, I got a lot done yesterday, man. I really did.
Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to think, like, the whole brother, they're trying to sever your embezzlement charges.
Yep, I read through all that this morning. It's kind of strange. They wanted to all right, so get this. She was okay with the severing of the embezzlement charge from the case, but not okay with the depositions. That's a conundrum in itself.
The way we kind of painted it was this marshal that came in, they're already on the back foot, which is why she came in with this like energy of like, all right, the big shots here. But she doesn't, what she says, her responses aren't that of a big shot. It's someone that's trying to act like they are. You know what I mean?
I'm not worried about her being a big shot. She couldn't get a goddamn charge to stick on Bobby Charles. So I mean, it's not that big of a deal.
Oh, tell me, wait, what do you mean?
She tried to charge Bobby Charles with running a red light and not having a driver's license because he only had his badge on him when he was on duty. And Bobby beat both charges.
Oh my God. Wait, why would she even charge him with that? Oh my God, that is funny.
I don't know. I mean, I know I was told as a marshal that I could give cops traffic tickets, but I didn't really focus on that. I'm more focused on, investigating them. Probably what I'm going to get started with, Nino, is it's time for a big investigation. You know what I mean? And we're going to have to start pulling people aside and asking them questions and stuff like that. The only thing is, though, some people just ain't going to fucking talk to us.
Explain. You mean in regards to your case?
Yeah. Oh, I think in regards to a lot of things, they won't talk to us. I kind of feel like a lot of people feel that their jobs are on the line if they tell the truth on like how they feel about shit.
That's exactly what it is, right? And that's why even from the day that the marshals came in and started dictating how people charge people on drugs and effectively because the day marshals came in 2.5 weeks ago and imposed their expectations on charges to the entire room of LSPD without their command and high command present, to everything that's happened since, there has been less officers coming on duty and openly saying they're worried that they're going to lose their job because some random person that they don't know randomly decides on hearsay that they should not have a job. I just sit here. I don't even want to talk about what I had to hear Jack tell me, but I'll put it like this because it's way out there and his side of the story deserves attention. This guy was kidnapped by Chaos Legion 5 months ago or some shit like that. No. He took a photo 5 months ago pertaining to some investigation in which he took a photo of someone that he needed to give to Den to like confer, is this the person? There's no text surrounding this photo. It's just a photo. He gets kidnapped by Chaos Legion. They publish his text messages, right? Kind of like what happened to Skyfae. And this time they start passing around this photo saying he's like doing some like weird shit because it's a photo of someone with their back turned. I'll leave it at that.
It's an ass shot.
It's fucking insane. And it's in reports and they're talking about it to like in the hallways. And he's like, bruh, So, and no one's apparently like didn't even speak to him. They're just like, oh, this guy's creeping. Like, I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know. It's crazy.
Well, how come Sky Faye gets the pass and he don't? I don't understand.
Well, he's got to, he's got to get blooded in. You know what I mean?
Oh,
he's not blooded in.
Oh, he's not. Oh, he's not a part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, because Sky Faye's shit was pretty fucked. Like, honestly. If I was a marshal, I would have went after her for sure for that shit. Once that shit hits the public domain.
Den mentioned that, like, the inferences were that she leaked to Hydra with a raid that happened way back when. And Daisy Dukakis, the number 2, said no one can look at it, otherwise you get fired because it's a right to privacy. I did tell Jack that technically if his shit gets publicly leaked, the PD may use it. The credibility of that goes down, right? But, but that's sort of beside the point, right? It's kind of one of those, like, you hyper scrutinize in one case, but not the other.
Well, you just inspired me. Now I got to get my boys to start stealing all the cops' phones.
Yeah. Yeah, it is crazy.
Yeah.
But
I'm trying to think here is, so when's the orbital strike? So the orbital strike's already launched.
Well, they launched it on themselves in a way.
Be fair, true.
Yeah.
I'm just curious on, I hope, I don't know what's going to be going on with my court case.
I think it's going to be a while.
Well, I mean, the Hydra one hasn't even happened yet.
You're right.
And that was like what? That incident was like a week and a half before me? Week?
You know what I realized as I was recapping in my mind what happened yesterday?
What'd you realize, buddy?
Where there was a slip up that there was a drone watching me and Den.
Yeah.
Him and I were having a privileged conversation while he was actively being threatened to go in and speak to the marshals.
Oh, you mean when they told him he was kind of detained?
Yes.
What is that kind of detainment? I'm not sure what that is.
It's what a mall cop says when they think they have any authority to do shit. Well,
oh, yeah, I would just walk away from him.
They're screwed.
I'm the one. Hey, to be fair, I think I'm to blame for that. Den was like, Fred, I'm going down to the marshal's office. I told you that he like wanted me to go down there with him. I was like, and then I called him on the phone because I was like, yeah, Nino, you were actually 100% right. I shouldn't be going there with him.
Yeah.
And he calls me. He's like, yeah, do I have? He's like talking to me. I'm like, hey, are you detained? And he's like, well, let me ask. They said I'm kind of detained. I'm like, yeah, just get the fuck out of there. Tell him to suck your dick. Tell him you'll talk to him when you're detained.
Yo, bro, it's fucking insane. I realized too, because, okay, so me, Tony went and got Sonia's FOIA yesterday. It took like no time. And
how come they give you guys shit instantly and they fucking make me wait on the back? Like,
no, wait, what do you, excuse me, I'm waiting 3 days now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
no,
my bad.
this is Sonia's FOIA, right?
Oh, okay.
She got her FOIA in 20 minutes. One of the reasons was it was Ray Lee. That guy is actually, I think he's actually a good guy from what I've seen before he became a marshal.
Who's Ray Lee?
He's used to be an LSPD officer. Very, like, he has principles. That's the key thing, right? The principle isn't obey the queen. It's...
Oh, okay, I get you. I see him.
And he produced it in like 20 minutes and explained each and everything that what he was able to give and what he wasn't able to give and why. And I came to the realization, bro, there's nothing, like, it is so fucking obvious that there's probably so much dirt that they're afraid of giving up and now they're crashing out. And it gets worse. Apparently, Trig had an incident or some shit. You know when you heard them getting when there was the yelling happening in the
yeah, after the meeting.
Trig asked for a FOIA. That's what that argument was.
I mean, what did he ask for a FOIA for? For a Marshal report?
I didn't dig too deep. I didn't, you know what I mean?
Well, it had to be, right? It had to be for a Marshal report.
Sure,
No other thing it could be. He has access to everything else. The only thing he doesn't have access to is private reports and Marshal reports.
Bro, that house is so made of glass, there's probably shattered glass all over the place. And now it's about to come out. Otherwise, there is literally no reason for this to be a difficult activity. There is no way this can be a difficult activity.
I mean, we really need to get that FOIA office in place. You know what I mean? If they're having such a tough time, we can... I mean, we should really get some FOIA legislation in, because the shit is ridiculous, brother.
I think that's a great idea. Let me add it to the list.
All right, you know, I just kind of had like a bad idea, but for some reason in my head it sounds like a good idea, but I know it's also a bad idea.
Okay, go for it.
I think that the precedent should be that once charges are pressed, it's like you can argue that once charges are pressed, that an investigation's kind of concluded and you should have access to those files.
That is exactly what's supposed to happen.
Work.
Why?
They'll never allow it. Because I mean, I told you what happened yesterday. They told me they had concluded their investigation, and then once I talked to them about it again, they said you can't have the FOIA now because we're reopening the investigation. And it's like, but the information that you already gathered is important for my case, and it's important for me if I have a case against you now because you didn't take me seriously.
So the reason why leeway is likely given to the courts is obviously we have the Timu version of court cases, right? Compared to like LA, New York, etc. You feel me?
Yeah.
And it's understandable because we live in a society, right, where motherfuckers might do some shit and they do more of it after a docket filing. This is clearly not that case.
Hey, you want to be my +1 to go to a wedding in a bit?
Yeah, sure. Is this with Mr. Bra?
Yeah, Z.
I think it is inherently the case, Fred. I don't think the fact that we even have to think about legislating it is kind of gross.
I know, but I mean, how often do we hear? So it's like, I agree with you 100%. There's some things that you don't need to legislate just because they should be. It's common sense.
It's not only common sense. It's like, yeah, it's common sense and in the Constitution.
What I just don't understand is the process has been fucked up. It's been like, 8 months I've been experiencing the process, and it's just not getting any better. So if we codify something, then it gets better.
Let's do it. I think that's a great idea.
So, honestly, I think this would be a big, kick in their face if we did this right now, too, because it would be like, hey, you guys are being bitches about this shit. I mean, so what I'm thinking is, obviously the cops can't handle their own FOIA shit. You know what I mean? It's the most obvious thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to find a way. But then they're going to fucking lose their shit when it comes to civilians technically having access to their reports. So, I mean, I just don't know what the fix is. How to fucking do it.
Well, I'll tell you right now.
Penalties. It has to be penalties. Financial penalties for failure to provide a FOIA.
No, it can't be.
Why not?
Brother,
I mean,
people, they're just going to bleed their money. You know what I mean? The state's got 50 million, I think.
Even if it's $10,000 a day after the FOIA is supposed to be granted, that stuff could really add up. But I guess
let me
what do we do?
Let me pose a question. When are the I think as an end result, probably something like that, because otherwise the cases where they're going to intentionally skip on FOIA are going to be cases like yours, big cases, and they're going to be like, oh, $200,000 to fuck Kyle Pred? Sure, why not? You get what I'm saying?
Yes. Oh my God. I think I just got the idea. All right. So, what if? All right. Never mind. I don't think that would work. What I was trying to do was try and find a way to get, when you do a FOIA, it's technically a court order, but it doesn't line up with the charge at all. And asking a judge to fucking be aware of FOIAs and the timers of them would be a pain in the ass, and they already can't do what they're supposed to do. So, willfully disobedient in terms of written in a court order to include. Okay, that's not gonna work. Contempt of court's not gonna work. Fucking obstruction of justice isn't gonna fucking work. I mean, it could in some places, but I don't know. We could probably hammer something out.
Yeah, it's called impeachment.
Honestly, so I'm gonna be realistic here. I think impeachment might be kind of a push, but I think authority conduct review fits it perfectly.
I'd have to double check to say whether I'm with you or not, but we're in the same area of thinking.
Yeah, I know. I think you're actually onto something with it being used for something like impeachment or authority conduct review. I think that kind of gets the point across that failure has consequences.
Exactly. And I'm gonna frame it like this: if a civilian or a lawyer is unable to get production of records through a FOIA, then they cannot defend themselves, and they actually have no freedom.
Well, you want to hear a funny story? I was working with this guy, Little Tugs, all right? And I FOIA'd for like 9 things of his.
Oh
and
my
they still
God.
haven't given them to me this day.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they've given
It's
me
why
like
I
4
woke
of
up on
them.
Nino.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, but to this day, they still haven't given me all of Little Tugs's FOIAs. And in fact, one thing that I heard was that Crane, before he was kicked out of office, was aware of all the FOIA requests I would put in, and he was not fucking happy with them at all. Because I was working a lot of cases when I was a lawyer. I bet you can relate. I mean, everything's about information gathering. But when you get cut off from being able to gather that information, wind out the sails, people lose interest, people lose trust, people don't want to work with you anymore. People want immediate results. When they can't get those, people give up. So the system was destroyed by those who were supposed to facilitate it, and everybody suffered as a consequence.
I had the exact same experience where I wasn't able to get FOIAs produced. I was told by Ask Chief Ruby, and this is where my hatred for LSPD High Command came from, is that on a roof, I had so many criminal negligence of a firearm cases that I was handling, all of them which needed FOIAs, all of which weren't being produced, and they were waiting forever for it. Ruby stood on a rooftop with me and was like, well, we technically don't have to legally give you anything.
Okay, well, that's
why I started.
I hate to say it, but that is kind of regarded.
Yeah, 100%, which is what led to me making such a fit for it, which ultimately resulted in me having a meeting with Crane, who then went to say, well, we don't really need this. And I screamed at him harder than I've ever screamed at anybody, trying to explain to him why you need FOIA in legislation in order to hold cops accountable, and not understanding that is fucking retarded.
Do you know what's crazy? I had amazing conversations with Crane all the time. Like, whenever I was having issues, like when I had a bad ruling from a judge, whenever I had grounds for bar complaints against judges for the behavior towards me and shit like that, he always agreed with me, heard the details out of every case. He looked into he actually put 100% effort and looked into every case that I had a grievance with, took the time to talk with me. And the best part is that me and him were never at a disagreement when it came to a shit. It was it was kind of crazy.
You mean in the past?
Used to yeah. No,
Yeah,
no. I mean like 6 months ago.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
5, 6 months ago.
Believe you. I believe you. Time. Thank you for the 10 months. So then what happened?
Well, he told me to do some things, and then when I asked the clients if they wanted to do things, they didn't want to do the things, so I legally couldn't just do them. You know what I mean? Like, I
and
had
that's
a court
what
case
set it
against Ken.
sideways.
Yeah, because I can't just throw a court case up on the docket for them if they don't want to do it.
You know what I think it is?
Grounds for dismissal of my bar.
I think a lot of these cops and marshals, they want to play kid detective, right? Like, you know, one of those like Nickelodeon shows or whatever. And now they're like, oh shit, wait, this is an actual job. They're crashing out. They've taken on too much onto their plate, and the fact that they cannot provide the most basic levels of documentation, it's coming to a head. And I feel like it's easy for us to perhaps look like the bad guys, whether it's now, whether it's back when you requested the FOIAs, back when I requested the FOIAs way back when. It's like, why are they making us do this difficult thing? When the reality is they got to look at themselves and be like, hey, we need to make sure we're organized when potentially ruining someone's life.
Yeah, that shit's the most important part of investigation. You have to build on a good foundation. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't build on a good foundation of your case, it just falls apart at the seams, and then you're working towards nothing.
Yep.
I mean, I took every investigation I did like very thoroughly. You know, I don't press I'm not like these cops, like these junior detectives. Like, I push the charge when I feel I can prove the charge, not when I just have reasonable suspicion and some details outlining it. Like, when I know I can press something, I press it. I don't just fire shots and take up people's time and, you know, stuff like that. It's I don't know. I feel like there's a lot missing. I feel like, I don't know. I don't really see where their head's at. They're so laser focused on getting me out of office that all they've done is ensure that I'm going to be in office my entire fucking term.
I do not disagree. I think, oh my God.
I can already exonerate one of the fucking felony gun charges. One of the fucking weapons reports that I made that they said might be a fake or some shit like that is bullshit. And it was reported around the same time that those weapons were known to be in my possession.
Oh boy, oh boy. They're working backwards. Let me see. What do we got here?
He's delaying his wedding by another 30 minutes.
You need food?
I mean, I can eat. Yeah, you want to go grab something?
Yeah, I got some food right now, but you know, might as well get something, you know? Multitask.
Yeah. But one thing is, I'm just curious on what they're trying to get against you. That's what I'm curious about.
They're not gonna find anything. I genuinely have not done anything. That's what's crazy.
But then I don't understand why they're so laser locked on you. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, I get being locked on me. All right.
For the
like,
same, Pred, when I started getting running for office, every single officer was making sure I don't become mayor, because I had voters come to me and say, I need to apologize. I was convinced you're Chang Gang, and I genuinely voted against you because people were going around saying that.
Well, when I talk
they go around saying I'm a criminal mayor based on what? I have one traffic citation.
You had me shot and I investigated you for a murder. How the hell can I bury the hatchet with you, but they can't?
Bro, what did they dig up my records from 8 years ago? Like, what are they, like, what, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, well, they didn't ask me, and I'm an expert witness of what happened 8 fucking years ago.
Oh, my Lord.
The manhunt that I put together for you was spectacular. You would have loved it.
You know,
I got everybody to pull out the fucking cars, put on masks and plain clothes with their vests on, so we could hide the identities of the people going around to apprehend you because we believe your group was dangerous.
Yep. You know,